So with that being said, where do you see this country by the end of Obama's term in 2016?
I really don't know, because I don't even be paying attention to that shit, little bro.
Mm,
You know what I mean? I don't pay attention to that shit, you know?
mm,
Because healthcare, all that shit is only necessary because they poisoning us so much. Dig me. That healthcare, well, they got healthcare in China.
oh,
They got healthcare in Africa. They got healthcare in Belize. They got healthcare in Jamaica. You need healthcare because they poisoning you so much. What you mean, Lil Spank? We ain't even gonna talk about the shit like cigarettes and all that old shit. Drink. And that's just the legal shit you could go buy at the store. Prescription medicine, all that old shit. We ain't even gonna talk about the chemical, and then we might as well go into the cocaine and crack and all that shit, the heroin and all that they importing. They ain't growing it, but they supervising the growth of it and importing it, you dig? But anyway, I'm talking about the shit that you could go buy at the store that Susie and Tanisha and them can just go get at the store. Now we're gonna talk about the food that the FDA approved that contain all kind of steroids. You got 12-year-old girls with more body than a 30-year-old woman. 12-year-old boys 6'2", nigga wear a size 13 shoe. These steroids, homie, that they injecting in the food. You dig? And they doing that because now it becomes a consumer thing. So allowing this animal to grow at its natural rate wouldn't be enough to feed the demand for Safeway and Vons and Ralphs and all that. So we're going to inject this motherfucker with some hormones that'll speed up that growth process and therefore allow us to meet the demand that the consumers need because we need to get this dough. So fuck it. If we need to shoot this cow with this motherfucking growth hormone, then we gonna shoot it. Now guess what? That growth hormone is in that food, in that meat. The children consume the meat. The population consumes the meat. You dig? Same with the chicken. You know, now they're talking about these outrageous amounts of mercury in the fish. And I learned a new word. I'm going to share it with y'all. Carcinogen. Right? Mercury is a carcinogen. What's a carcinogen, Lil Spank? Something that contributes to the development of cancer. So the fish give you cancer, right? The meat, the red meat, that's going to give you colon cancer, especially with African males, because you can't properly digest that food. So what it would do, it sits in the intestine and the colon and it begins to rot, and now you got colon cancer from the meat, G. It's tainted meat, homie. You know what I mean? You know? The same with the chicken. They growing this shit in unhumane, confined quarters. You know what I'm saying? The chicken living in a small ass coop with hella other chickens around. That's basically, it just came to my mind right now. It's symbolic to how they had the brothers stacked on the slave ships. That's how they got the chickens up in there. But now understand, this is unnatural for the chicken. So the chicken is going through psychological shit that's creating endorphins and all that to be going through his body. Straight into the meat. You know, you got to kill a goat a certain type of way. Because if you don't, you will cut the wrong sack and it'll poison all the meat in the goat. Dig me now. If you cut the goat the wrong way, you'll cut the wrong sack and it'll release some type of chemical shit that'll poison all the meat in the goat. These motherfucking chickens is in unnatural conditions that's fucking them up psychologically and causing their bodies to release different chemicals that's poisoning their own meat. So by the time you kill them, all this shit is in there. Why you think Muslims eat halal meat? What that mean? I'm gonna lay on some other shit. Halal means that the animal was killed gently and in a surprise way. Why is that? Because animals are just, we just the highest form of animal. But these same animals ain't stupid. They know when they get lined up and they see all these other animals getting shocked and all that, that they coming up next. And that releases chemical endorphins in their body just like humans do when we sweat. That's a chemical endorphin, a reaction to something. Some motherfuckers get nervous and get to shaking. Them is a reaction, homie. That chemical endorphins is releasing in your body as stimuli to an event that's having an adverse effect on you. So if it happened to a human, what make you think it ain't happened to an animal? We don't eat humans, though. So we don't really understand the dynamic and the depth of the effects, but we eat these animals. Now add all that on top of chemical, unnatural growth hormones in these motherfuckers. Everybody got high blood pressure. Everybody got heart disease. Everybody got some kind of triv. The FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA can put a sticker on a product in the grocery store that says organic. Not if the product was grown organic from the time the seed germinated, was planted in the soil, all the way until the time it was ripped up off the ground, sprayed down with water, because you can't use no chemical on organic shit, period. I don't give a fuck if it's pesticide, none of that. That is not organic. No, that ain't what they mean when they put that label on there. The FDA approved that label to be on a product that only comprises of a certain percentage of organic growth. How many people really know that, though? They see that organic label and think, oh, I'm safe. This doesn't have any chemicals or nothing. They don't realize that the FDA can put that label on something that only, it meets a requirement of a certain percentage. That's not organic. Either it is or it's not, homie. It can't be half organic. That ain't what the labels say. Well, it's half organic, G. We only use 40. No, they don't say that. It just say FDA organic. Consumer, homie. How you gonna tell me? Well, that's like the jury saying, okay, Lil Spank only 46% guilty, G. How the fuck do you do that? Cause I want that other, what's that other 53, that other 54%, my nigga. I need to have that part out. Let me get that part out, cause only the other part of me is guilty. I'm only 46% guilty, so let that other 54% be free, and I can get up in the booth halfway or something. I just need to have 54% of my body in the booth, G. The other half, the 46% could be locked up because that's only 46% guilty. How you do that, homie? How the fuck is organic really only 46% organic, homie? How you do that? But yet still, this is exactly what they doing. They chemically affecting the people. Why the fuck it ain't no kids with Down syndrome? I mean, not Down syndrome, excuse me. What's that shit? ADD and all this so weird ass shit. In Africa, homie, I ain't never seen no kids throw no temper tantrum on no TBS channel I was watching when they was in Africa, G. Never. I don't know nobody that's seen it. I've never seen no little African kid, baby. I'm not saying crying. I'm talking about throwing a fall out in aisle 3 at the supermarket temper tantrum. G, I ain't never seen that. What I see the little girls at home with the moms getting water out the well, doing all the shit that the women do, conducting their business responsibly at a young age, learning the things that they're going to need to know as they mature into women. Just like I see the little dudes, and this ain't just limited to Africa. I see it in South America, in the Amazon, with the Indians. You know what I mean? The young little boys is on the hunt with the grown men. Once they get a certain age, they can carry that little arrow or whatever. They might not be able to shoot that motherfucker, but you can best believe they got their little loincloth covering up their little gig, and they out there barefooted with their daddy and then with the paint on their face, hunting down a wild boar or something, learning how to do the things that they gonna need to do when they get old enough to feed their own family. It's just natural, homie. You know what I'm saying? It's natural. But the United States don't teach you that. Oh, that's primitive. You know, that's not civilized. They want to go take them clothes and the Bible. You know what I mean? They want to control everything, homie. Literally. Why are you fucking with them people? They out there chilling. Leave them alone. You know, homie, I be loving to watch that type of shit, homie. I be tripping off that like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I really be digging it. I like that type of shit. You know what I mean? You know, but you have to understand, America is anti that. It's anti anything natural, homie. Everything is chemical. I ain't never seen none of them little kids, homie, off no motherfucking ADD and all that G. They don't got no hospitals out there. They don't got no health care out there. They live in natural. And ain't having no problems until white people come around. That's when the problems start. Now, don't get me wrong. You have motherfuckers come down with a cold or disease or whatever, because I've seen it on there, and they die or something. But I mean, shit, you know, sometimes that shit happen. Pregnancy don't go right or whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's how it happens. Not enough to where they're gonna be extinct though. But when the white man come around, they be extinct. G. Now that threat is there. From their habitat to their natural food, all that shit, homie. You know, this is the symbol that this country represents, homie. So, I mean, you know, it's true. All the way around. You know, and if you look, even in that sense, what I was talking about, on the lowest level, to them trying to civilize, so-called civilized people who don't need to be civilized, that's cool by themselves, trying to control that. All the way up to trying to control people's dietary diets and all that shit. You know, they try to control everything, homie.
So if everything is inorganic or chemically infused, what do you recommend people could eat other than fruits and vegetables?
Yeah, you know, you can get your beans, you know, all vegetable though. You know, things that you can grow yourself. You know, you can grow these things. You can grow these things yourself. You know what I mean? Do your research, do your history. Tell up your herbsman. You know, find you an herbsman. You know, they got them in the community. You know, if you know where Jamaicans or Dreads or Africans be at, you know, hell, you up an herbsman. Find out, you know, different things that you could grow and what seasons, this, that, and the other. My uncle, right in Southeast San Diego, homie, you know what I'm saying, had a garden in the backyard, growing tomatoes and all type of shit, cucumbers and shit like that. You know what I mean? So, again, just like the little African or the little Indian who watches his dad or his uncles and big brothers do certain shit, I learned the same thing.